up? How are you doing?
Doing well. It's always like when I do the introduction, I say like Logan Ryan from Logan Ryan Band, or like like I always feel like sometimes I don't know how to introduce when it's your
Works.
band.
Yeah. Logan with that one band. Logan Ryan band.
But yeah, dude, like I have to say, like your music, I, obviously prior to the podcast, really just sitting down and listening to it. I love how your songs they're like really smooth and there's no like abrasion to it. It's all very easy. Like I'm not gonna say like easy listening, but like it come at you like in a real cool, smooth way, but it hits hard at the same time. And
Yeah.
I love that.
That has a lot to do with my producer, I think, because his like focus on the loud, powerful sonics and then letting the songwriting cut through. So I guess that kind of helps. That's
Yeah,
like his quota when you get an offer from him and stuff.
yeah. I, and I love how you do the harmonies, like the cool back soft harmonies, and man, it's just really cool to listen to. And I think like I'm screaming the lyrics in my head, like and that's what makes this go so hard because like I really like just like it's kind of like what I loved about like the Deftones is some of their songs could be like real slow and melodic, but there's like really cool like stuff going. I love like I called it like a soundscape. I really
Hmm.
love like you have like a lot of that, and I like how you, just not traditional. Like you have no problem with changing the tempo of a song and changing up a song, and I really like that because not a lot of people in the genre you're in do that, and I really like how it now is that something that like that is like composed by you or
Yeah, like all the songs, I finish them with the guitar. I get the melodies and everything. I get the basic tempos, and we'll tweak it a little bit in the studio. But for the most part, it's all composed on a guitar, and then we go in and just add the parts.
yeah, dude. And I love. I was listening to "Pretty Devil," that last drum.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like what happened there? Do you like? I love when people just leave stuff in. They're like, "That's a perfect take." It sounds like the guitar player just like accidentally rubbed his knuckles across the guitar.
That's just me being bad at mixing. That was when I mixed myself. I was like, I ain't even gonna try to mess with it.
I,
Sounds
I,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I love that. It's like I was talking to Gavin Adcock, and
Yeah,
I was like, dude, you just leave that cough in. Like that was a cough, right? Because you kind of like it was like Fight Club. Like you don't even you don't know you saw it, but you saw it and you're splicing something in. And I was like, no, that's a cough. You go back. Of course, now it's so much easier to go back. And he's like, yeah, man, they're a good take. Just leave it in. Who cares? And it's
yeah. I mean, we got a song we're recording right now, or that we just recorded, and there's little Easter eggs, stuff like that inside the song, and I like it.
dude,
Like there's a drummer, you can hear him going "woo" in the background and stuff like that. So
yeah, and dude, like it's got to be a great way to like really when someone comes up to you and goes, hey, man, did I hear this in your song? Like that's someone who like loves your music that really just is totally immersed because that's the one thing about like the style that you have. Like if you can listen to it, but to really get it, it's definitely like an immersive thing because like there's so many layers of stuff going on, and it's really cool. Like you may not hear it on the first time, but on like the second time, like you definitely like dream some dreams come true. There's like this like there's some kind of like do you know what I'm talking
uh,
about?
yeah, the synth
Oh, it's
probably.
a synth. I had no idea because like on its own, it may not work, but in the mix, it just man, it just really fills out like all the frequencies. And because when I listen to it, and you're like, well, what's that? That's cool. It sounds like a horn almost. But
Probably just I don't remember what it was, but I think it's just keyboard.
okay,
certain setting on the keyboard.
Yeah, I definitely dig like stuff like that, and I love how Easter eggs. Now, is it now is it like there should be like a thing like if you can find them all,
You get a free shirt or something.
there's something. But yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
there just is something, and it gives somebody like a one up on somebody. You know, everybody
You
wants
don't
to
know
be
this part? Yeah,
yeah, like oh
yeah.
on the album you can hear this, you can hear that, but like that just happens organically. We're just like
Yeah, you just like listen back and you're like, oh, well, I kind of like it there, but just like leave it in there.
I definitely dig that. It's also like you're recording it, and you know it's obviously studio time's expensive and it's serious, but it just leaves it's a fun element as well.
Yeah, so like when we go in and record, we'll do it all together. So I'll be in one room, drummer will be in another room, leads will be in a room together, and we'll just go at it like 10 takes, and then we'll just comp the best parts out of them,
Are
and
you
then
think? Oh, sorry.
you just you find lot of Easter eggs and stuff in all those parts, and you're just like, all right, that's cool. Just leave it there.
Are you a fan of the studio?
Yeah, I love the studio.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
Now prior to going, are you have all your songs 100%, or if you guys are all together and it comes to recording, you more like have some songs you'll bring to the table like on the fly, or is it all specifically just thought out?
It's kind of a mix. So like some days we'll go in and we'll just do a new song off the fly and figure it out. But if a certain song's not working, we'll just cut it and do another one. Like because we got like an amount we want to finish. We want to do like 12 songs, 13 songs on this album. So and I think two of them ended up not making the cut, so we added two more out of the backpack, which
Nice.
I ended up really liking a lot. Might be
Nice.
my favorite ones.
So is the album been recorded? Just waiting for mixing and mastering, or
uh 10 songs have been recorded, or 8 songs have been recorded. We got 4 more to go. And I don't know when I'm getting back in for those other 4. They're gonna be a lot more I don't know how we're gonna record them yet. I haven't thought about it, but they're gonna be pretty different than what we're used to.
so different take on like sonically or the way things are recorded
Yeah,
and
it's
captured?
one of the songs is gonna have like a Doritos vibe to it, like a Tejano type stuff too. But I wanna kinda I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, how I'm gonna go about it. I don't know if I gotta find a LA producer or something to
Oh
make it
wow.
sound the way I wanna sound, but it's gonna be cool. I know it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation. Like when someone asks you like how would you describe your sound? And you know like it should be as easy to like man it sounds like me. And they're like no, you know, like
Yeah.
when you're telling someone you hand them and you're like I want it to sound like this. It's just I've come to like when I try to find like how would I explain like your music, your sound, and it's just like
Yeah, we don't try to sound like anybody really but ourselves.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny, like I always I know what my brain likes, and it's just like dude, I wish I knew how to like get that out more, you know, like and
Yeah.
it's funny is like especially like when some like super fans or like guys that are like guys and girls like obviously everybody who's like really into your band and you can tell who's like a Logan Ryan band or anybody else when people don't like when people compare others' music to something else, which I never got because You know, when they're like, oh, what's Logan Ryan band sound like? Wait, am I supposed to be like, it's like nothing you've ever heard ever? And you know, they're like, well, does it sound like this? Well, I know he's from here. Does it sound like? And it's just like nothing you've never heard. And I'm like, that doesn't work. You know, like comparisons are okay. It's okay to say, you know, he does really cool, like with the harmonies. I would say that, like, I think William Clark Green does the same. It has like that same cool. I really like just the way how it comes across. And I'm a huge fan of harmonies. There's different ways of doing them, and I just the way it's really cool to listen to music where like the songs like it's got this like cool atmospheric and it's got great sonic sounds going on it, and then at the bottom of the bass is like boom 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 boom. So it's like got that cool rhythmic feel to it, but it man, like I said, it's still hitting you hard, and
Mhm.
I just really I just really wish I'd found stuff like this a lot earlier because I would know
Oh,
your
no.
blood type. You know, like I would have like the deep dive of everything going on, and like your voice, you don't sound like anybody else. I love like the inflections of your voice, and it's got that register that I found like I really like where it sits, and it's just like really cool to listen to. Like no one's ever gonna hear your voice and ever say that's somebody else.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I've always been proud of that.
yeah.
I used to not be able to sing worth a damn, but I've gotten better over the years, so it's actually tolerable to listen to my voice.
Now
I like to think, anyways.
was it like finding where you sit like on the like you know they like baritone alto, you know, there was it really finding where your frequencies shine? Because I know a lot of I've seen a lot of young singers like you just they have range, but they don't know where they like shine at or
Yeah, like a lot of my stuff, I tune my guitar half step down, and I kind of don't really play many songs in standard. I play, I play a half step down or capo one, just weird stuff. It just makes fiddle players mad.
I was gonna say yeah,
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 but it just fits my voice better.
yeah, definitely, and you don't have to strain as much. That's that I play with a guy. He plays, and it's always like when your guitar play when as a guitar player look over, you see the capo, and I'm always one to be like, I'm like, no, if he's on one, I grab. I should be in standard, and it's just every once in a while it'll like melt my mind because then he went and wrote some songs in C, and I'm like, dude. we got on the playlist. We got to put little numbers where I got to have the capo. But hey man, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix, they all rocked it. It's easier to play the guitar, especially if you primarily play acoustic. It a lot more comfortable. You can bend the strings, and man, you can really tear into the guitar when it's tuned down. I always found it fun, and it makes
Yeah,
if you want to hit higher notes, it's easier on the singer because you know the whole music is down. But yeah, like I never even thought like a fiddle. A
yeah, they
fiddle.
gotta retune their stuff if they want to play in A flat, C sharp.
Yeah, and I've never tuned a fiddle under any kind of like noise. I imagine they're super sensitive to noise.
Yeah, I had one at one time, and then I left it some girl's house a long time ago, and I never got it back. But that's a hard instrument to learn.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I could buy a fiddle and be like, I got this. It's in open tuning. You know, you just lay your finger and it's a chord. Nope. That was like so humbling. And then I had no idea like how the strings were on. Of course, I bought a cheap one and the strings weren't wound right. And I like tuned it, and man, that string came and smacked me in the mouth. I was
Oh,
like, I'm so done right now because I was like, you know, come on. I
I
was
didn't
like,
know about the rosin at first. So I was like, why the hell is it not making a sound? What's going on here? How do you make it sound?
Yeah, it's if it's funny. I said, I told one of my friends, yeah, you know, my violin slash fiddle comes in today, and he goes, make sure to rousing that bell. And I'm like, how? I was like, it did come with something with that, and I'm like, what is that? He goes, I don't know. That's in that lyric. The devil goes down you know. I'm like, oh, it is, and I'm like, well, yeah. And thankfully, it came with it, and but I was like, how do I apply it? It's this hard block, and then, get on the YouTubes, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
I'm like, terrible. I really thought I'd have a leg up, because like as a guitar player, you can pick up a bass and pass. You could do a gig. You're not going to sound like a bass player, but you're going to be able to like at least start making music, which
Hmm.
which is like a big thing. I think for anybody, like when you pick something up and it just sounds terrible, but yeah, I picked that thing up, and I really thought I could make some musical, and no,
It'll be easy. Yeah. No.
yeah, it was terrible. You're like, it's so small. It's got to be easy, and
Everything's
there's
so sensitive to
oh,
your hand placement.
it's amazing. That is one thing. Like I loved like classical music, but I never really like watched it. And there's some like big tempo songs, big. But man, when I went to like my first Shane Smith and the Saints concert, and I was like, holy, like that. How's that thing should be on fire? The way that
Yeah.
like I'm like, dude, that's how the cavemen learned about fires, rubbing wood together like that. And he just all throughout the night, just watching like I guess what is it, like horsehair, just strands of it, just
Yeah. All of it falling
yeah,
apart.
dude. It's so small, but there's so many sounds. It's so rhythmic, and it's just I have grown such a appreciation for the fiddle, and that just that sound, and like how emotive it is, how it can just come in a song and do the long, and then just like out of nowhere, just pick the tempo up and be right there with the steel and right there with the guitars, and I just love what like what you guys can do with a lot of instruments that I did not like. But
Mhm.
the one that just really hasn't I've been trying is man the mandolin.
Oh, you don't like the mandolin?
It's it's not the sound, it's the way it's played. It's almost like if you were to as a guitar player, you have to be like a wiper blade on a car, like one and two and three and four. Mandolin is like just play whatever you want, trill it, dude. It's not mechanical, and I think that just bothers me. I don't know. It, but like I said, like I've listened to some bands, and I'm like, what's that chimey guitar? Oh my god, it's a mandolin. But it's like arpeggiated, and it's just it's kind of like the ukulele when they play the thing. It's never played like to a
Yeah.
metronome. It feels I don't know. I don't know.
It was like a campfire instrument or something.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's probably just me. What do you like the mandolin? 'Cause-
I like it. Uh, it's in that song Takovas, that one you
uh-huh.
just reviewed
Dude, I love that
there at
song.
the beginning.
I also learned their boots.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it'd be an area in Texas. It's
No,
like
it's
I put on my old. I was like, all right, there's something. And then when
yeah,
I
it just rhymes good with turquoise. So I've never owned Takovas. My girlfriend's never had Takovas. Just Takovas and turquoise just went together better than like Luke Casey and turquoise, or put on the old Finoglios and turquoise. I don't know.
yeah,
It's just rhymed the best, rolled off the tongue the best.
yeah, oh, definitely. That
And
that's
then
a that's a great rhythm song. A lot of
like
cool.
some type of hipster boots, but so well.
Yeah, I do. It, has anybody like ever like brought a pair for you and be like, here you go, bud?
Yeah, I've signed some, and then a lot of people send me, or I've seen like stories that people tag me in. They're like, "He's got some Tacovas," and they'll have my song playing in the tag or whatever. So like, I feel like I sold Tacovas a lot of boots, but they never
Yeah.
sponsored me or nothing.
No, yeah, they should definitely hit you up. But
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah, dude, like first time I clicked on your TikTok profile, you got a lot of viewers. You got a lot of followers. And I'm like going through it and I'm like, dude, this is how you use this platform. And I just was like really impressed of how, because like right now, like I know people love you out there because right now the algo is just not giving anybody any views or anything, but especially because I do minutes long. I don't do like the real quick stuff or that's just what this app is for. And it did Takovas and it's just over 10,000 views in like 2 days, which is like unheard of right now in the
Yeah, you
violin
got the
world.
whole song in there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then I
How
was
do you do that without getting copyrighted? Because I can't even put a video over a minute and they'll take it
really
down. Yeah.
a lot of I was just talking to Tanner Osprey about this. Like I can't do his music anymore, and I don't know. I Do you use UMG
I use for distribution,
or I see some?
I use CD Baby.
Okay, yeah, I don't know because there was another band that I was like, man, they sent me their stuff early, and I was supposed to do it on the day it came out, and I did, and it all got muted, and I messaged their manager, and he's like, I'll take care of this, and I was like, okay, I've heard that before, and next thing you know, I redid it, and nothing. That's crazy that you yourself can't do
I
over a
haven't
minute.
tried ever since it happened because I didn't want to get it muted again. Because like it was a good video, it was doing good, and then all of a sudden it got muted.
Yeah, you know what I do in case it does get muted? I always do is I have an iPhone and I can record the screen. So I'll make the video and go to the edit and you can make it full screen and I just screen record it. And that way if they mute it, I don't lose the content. So it's not gone forever because
Hmm.
that sucks, when you spend all that time. And then like
Yeah,
it's discouraging too when you nail a take and then you put it up and it's like what. But yeah, yeah, I don't really do anything special other than I just run it through an interface that goes into my phone, and that's how I'm able to do like over a minute because I'll use Apple Music. I download it for like better quality and then just put it through put it
hmm
through the phone, and that's how I do that.
I mean, maybe it's because you even put the tag in there like Secret or Tacoa's Logan Ryan band, and maybe
Yeah,
it lets it slide or something since it's.
yeah, that's a big thing for me. That's why when people are like, I can hear it in the background, I'm like, yeah, that's so I give the artist credit. So that's the beauty of TikTok, man. That I'm sure like if you have an artist account, you hit that bubble, and if you have your Apple Music, Spotify hooked up to your TikTok, it's literally boom, boom, song in
On
your
your
playlist.
playlist. Yeah.
It's so powerful for an artist, and I don't see people using that. I mean, that's probably why you have such the big following you have because you can definitely tell, like you definitely know what you're doing with social media, and using it as it's a digital flyer instead of like putting them
Yeah.
on telephone poles and handing them out. That's what it is. It's to get your music out to new people, and it's as simple as even if they don't have to listen, they're like if you just bust in and you start saying your voice, they're gonna be like, dude, I like this guy. Click, click. And even if they don't watch the whole video, that is in their playlist. It's gonna come back up. And I really wish like more people knew about that because you put a video, especially when some of these guys they edit it and it's got all these like transitions and everything. You see, it's got like 123 views, and that nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't. Are you a numbers guy?
Hmm.
It
Not
sucks.
really. I don't
No.
care, but
Uh, See, I'll
I
say
mean,
that, but I'll check it. I'll check it. 10 times. It's I don't know what it is. It's just like when I know something's good and like I put it out and I'm like, man, how can you just pass up this? And then I think like, man, I can't imagine the artist like doing the same kind of thing because like I'm big on numbers. Even though I can't add, I took algebra one to senior year. That's how terrible I am at math, but I know the value of six-figure number better than three-digit number. And but I'm like, I do kind of like get obsessed about it. But yeah,
Are you talking about
it's
like the time length of the video, or what are you
no
talking about?
like the view count.
Oh, the view count. Well, you
Yeah,
can't control that.
I know. I wish I could. But back in the day, it was like you just put anything out and it'd be like 60,000 views, and that's huge. And I
That's
just
when I should have started posting, but I was one of those people that refused to post on TikTok for the longest time.
yeah
But my first song came out in 2017, and I didn't start posting on TikTok till like 2022,
yeah I
and
think
I've
that's good.
grown exponentially just a lot because of TikTok.
Now, do you see that as your biggest platform now?
I would say so for promoting my
Yeah.
music. Yeah,
Yeah, I see a lot of the Texas guys. They're very, very big on Instagram, but I still to this day, I have no idea how to use it. I don't. It's not as friendly. TikTok is just so much easier just to deal with. And
I feel like TikTok's great for finding a new audience, and then Instagram's good for your existing fans to promote all your shows and whatnot.
yeah,
But TikTok's good for finding a new audience. That's
and
how I use them, anyways.
yeah, hey, dude, it's working. Because normally, like, I have to like find the tag because I like tagging people, and I'll see them like, oh, they haven't had a video in forever, but yeah, it's cool to see when like artists like yourselves have like a really big following because it's like your shit's good. You know what I mean? Like it
Mm.
that should be the conversation. Well, why do you listen? It's good, and I like yeah, like I said, like man, it's like what would you call like your genre? Like, do you even go? Do you even like genres?
Uh, I would just say we're red dirt, southern rock, I guess,
Okay,
with traditional influences.
yeah,
Plus somewhere in the country, well, country realm, southern rock realm,
yeah, and
kind of
and
in between. I don't know.
and I love that, and it's wild when because like country was like if I saw that on like a genre, I probably wouldn't even listen to it because the association I have with the word country is nothing like what you guys are doing. Like just the way like how it's recorded. Like it just seems like I know people are like, well, that's the radio, and I'm like, well, that's all I was exposed to because like growing up, like my allowance was $5, a CD was 20, and like
Hmm.
unless you went to the wall, you didn't have it. Like if you didn't know the artist, you just it was album art or word of mouth. And the stuff I'd heard on that whole section over there, I didn't like any of it, so I never would have walked over there. And like now, it's just wild to me, like because iTunes or Apple Music might just say Logan Ryan band country, and it never. That's why I like the term red dirt because it could be you got your Cody Canada and the part at Cross Canadian Ragweed. You got the harder edge, but you still retain the story, and you're not going to get silly songs that don't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean,
And
red dirt, Texas country kind of came about, I guess, as a genre to stray away from Nashville country
yeah, yeah, it's funny.
because they're way different.
Oh, absolutely. Even just like from the sound, like I get like like not only like does the lyrics, they all have like the formula, and like there's no individual like there's no individual sound, like there's no peaks and valleys. It's all like it's all like a big chunk. There's just no life to it, and I can't stand it. And like people be like, "Oh, you like country and you do the whole thing." They put on something. I'm like, "No, not that." I said, "Listen to
That's
that and listen to this," and I could put on yours, and they're like, "This is country." I'm like, "Exactly."
the Nashville thing is they would get the same 6 studio artists, same studio, same producer, and they would all record every album for every artist.
Yeah,
So everything sounds exactly the same.
yeah. It's so weird. I just feel like that town, like your city, cannibalized itself, and because it used to be, and granted, they still have great, iconic, like you know, estates up there, like the Grand Old Opry, which is bringing in awesome, awesome artists. It's so cool to see that they're going like not this, and bringing up uh, guys guys like you and everybody down there like doing it's still doing it still doing the it's traditional with like a modern flair, and I don't know, man. It's just it's just weird, like because like when people are like, Why'd you get on TikTok?" And I was like, not to be like kind of like a music promoter, but man, I found this like sound that like I've like the sound, like you encapsulate that sound, and I love it. And I really think that so many more people will love it too. And then that makes everyone go, "Hey, what's going on down here in Texas? The Logan Ryan band, like let's put them on a national tour and send them up to the Northeast so I can follow you," like I did when Co came up here, and I got to see all those guys, and there's a bunch of other people, but man, it seems like they just skipping Philly lately. But yeah, that's the end game. Everybody, makes more money. They get bigger buses, and they go,
Yeah, all these guys, they used to make a living just touring around Texas and Oklahoma, and now they're finally seen on a national level.
"Yeah, dude, I am for it." And I asked Cody Jinks about that. I said one of the things that people always bring up when I talk about Cody Jinks, they said, "Yeah, he's one of the first ones to uh to take it out of Texas." And I asked him, I
Mhm.
said, "What was that?" He's like, "Out of necessity. I didn't want to have to go up against, cross Canadian ragweed and all those big
Randy
guys."
Rogers,
Randy, yeah, Randy
Jason
Ross.
Boland, and
Yeah, he's just said, "Man, I just Henry Rollins it and got in the van and just toured relentlessly." And I was like, "Well, thanks," because now I kind of like and a lot of those guys have toured around, and it's just setting relationships with venues, and now with the whole world at your hand, and people know that people are starting to see that, like, because I know a lot of people that were like, "Yeah, I like country music," but they have a cutoff date. They say after that, no, I don't listen to anything other than that, and that's another wall that I find like I'm trying to like break, is like, man, I'm
mhm,
telling you, there's good stuff out. There's good stuff out there. There's still with
they just
great
don't know
songs.
where to look. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, and I really like. I'm like gonna butcher the lyric, but you have a lyric that man, I just think it's like so clever. Of what was it like? "You don't fly in love, you fall," or something. And it's just like something like real short. And like the first time I heard it,
Love
I was
don't
like,
let you fly, just lets you fall.
"Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that's something like, like I could see." I could see people tattooing that on themselves. This is the one I was like, it's a lot better than some of the things I've seen on people. Was the
That's
first
one of
song?
our least popular songs, I would say.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen Logan Ryan band tattoos, but it's usually I've seen some cool Winona pertaining ones, like Take Care, Be Well. And then there's been some Buenos Noches, Stupid Bitch tattoos.
That's
And then
wild.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then a couple of people got my signature back when I didn't have a great signature. Like it just looks like scribble, but it's on them, I guess. After I saw them get it tattooed, I was like, all right, I gotta work on my signature so it looks presentable if you want to get it tattooed.
So there's like a legion of fans being like, "No, this is his signature. No, this
Oh
is."
my God, they're all different.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, once
but
you know people start something permanent on them because I'm the seismogram myself. It's like be like, what's
yeah,
that? You, you got all
I
those
got
letters?
it looking pretty cool now. It's actually legible.
Yeah. Does it have any flair or anything like a?
Yeah, I'll do the L, then I'll run the L all the way across and sign the OGAN on top of it. And I'll do the same thing with the R, and I'll put a little LRB on the bottom.
Nice. So it's a legit thing now. No one's ever gonna call you out anymore. It's one of
Yeah,
the better tattoos you can get.
yeah. They're gonna
It,
call me into Pawn Stars to verify if it's real.
I got a friend. He's not right outside, but I'm gonna give him a call. Hey man, hey. That's funny.
I
I
might have
saw.
done that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's not me. No, no. This is a picture of us together. This is you with the sharpie. No. Yeah, AI is crazy today. Oh man, that'd be brutal. But yeah,
One of the OG ones.
yeah, yeah, the betas. Yeah, I started doing a serial number. Yeah, it's wild.
Before he refined his craftsmanship.
I saw Randall King. He was yelling at another artist. He was like, "Whose signature is this?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know who the opener was." He's like, "Did you do this?" I was like, "Man, that's got to be, because I learned that like the first time I went to Texas, I never knew cowboy hats were so expensive. And I was
Oh
just
yeah.
like, yeah, that was a whole nother. I'm like, man, signing someone's like hat, that's like you definitely want. I can see you definitely want it to be legible.
Well, it's a lot easier to sign a hat than it is an arm or a shirt.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when they've been rocking out all night.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's like something like with your fans, like something that you do that they would never expect. Do you have any
They
like
wouldn't expect.
yeah, like things you're into?
Uh, Stock trading.
Stock trading.
I trade options. I lose a lot of money, but I've been doing it for like 4 years.
Really? Like is that like when you're traveling, you're just doing stocks?
Yeah, yeah. So I got like a trading view app, and I got my brokers,
Oh wow.
and it's a cool way to make money. I thought I was gonna quit welding a long time ago and just be a stock trader because I would have good runs, and then I'll just lose it all. I still haven't quite figured it out, but it's something I enjoy doing. I want to figure out
Nice.
how to
It
be profitable.
yeah, and what is it the adrenaline rush of watching the
I don't know.
calls and
It could be
closing?
like maybe I have like a gambling addiction. I don't know. I love the casino, but no, I mean I took classes. I took online classes for it to learn it. I've bought books and stuff, and I want to get good at because I can see people making like 30,000 a day. Like I got into it when COVID hit and I got laid off from my welding job. I was like, man, this is a cool way to make money. You
Yeah,
just roll out of bed, put in a call, make 500 bucks. Like you could, that's a lot better than working 10 hours a day
yeah,
welding. Yeah. I'm actually, this is my last week welding. I'm about to jump into music full time.
really.
Yeah.
That's it, it's scary. Like when people don't realize because it's a lot of jobs like they come with benefits and stuff like that, and when it's just shame there's just not like an organization that you like you as an artist like my thing was always like medical benefits because I've been to the hospital 3 times without it and I could be driving a Lambo right now and that's I'm paying $5 a week month or just for years and years and years. It's just
See, I've never used benefits really, like the medical or dental, well, like the
nah,
dental, but like I've never had to use the medical or the eye, the vision.
yeah, I swear I'm like slowly falling apart. There's always something, and I always know like I had an opportunity to like join a band, and like they're like, "Hey, you going to Australia? If you do," I'm like, "Man, I know as soon as I'll sign, I'll get on that bus, and I'll just my appendix will explode." Like, hey, you made
Just
it.
in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, it's like, my buddy had an appendicitis in Jamaica, and he went to the hospital, and they're like, he
In
said they,
Jamaica?
yeah, he said the first thing they asked was credit card, and he's like, nah, get me a flight to Florida. He's like, take me back to the States.
Yeah. Probably been like $10. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like they didn't even ask me my name, credit card. I was like,
Credit
yeah,
card?
I couldn't imagine getting on a flight knowing your body's filling up with poison. But yeah, because I was just give me an IOU. What you can just never go back.
Jamaica's not really known for their healthcare.
Yeah, right. But man, like full time. Is the whole band? Is everybody full time now or
The bass player and the lead player they've played music full time for a while. They do a lot of hired gun stuff during the week. And me and the drummer Brent, we were the ones working full time. He was road construction, so me and him would both be out of town all week working on the road. Then we get home and go back out on the road.
yeah.
But he he quit his job not too long ago, and I'm finally quitting my job. It's my last week. I've been at this company for 4 years, so it's a milestone for me.
Yeah.
Finally making enough from royalties and shows to
Yeah, and yeah, it's cool to see like Dexter and the Moon Rocks. They did a video a long time ago of introducing the band, said, "What do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I do concrete. I do this. I do that." And then like a year or two later, whatever, and they stitched the video and said, "Well, what do you do now?" I play guitar for Dexter and the Moon Rocks. I do this, and it's a
yeah,
really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, dude, and it's man, it's a big jump because it's not a guaranteed paycheck, and it's a lot of investment in yourself. But man, like obviously, the talent's there, and it's just weird because like you'll put out a song and be like, dude, this is the best thing I've ever done, and like you don't know, like maybe it won't do anything. You put all this money into it, you want that money back and then some. Like
Yeah,
you got mouths to feed. You got a bunch of guys standing behind you, like, hey man,
yeah,
what's up with
got people
payroll?
counting on you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's especially like that's your name on the marquee, and a lot of people don't realize like it. Yeah, it's cool to be in a band, but I mean, you're like CEO, you're boss, you're also,
Mhm.
uncle, grandpa. Like you got to hold everything together because if man, if something breaks down, they're not calling the musician by his name. They're gonna be like, oh, that dude from Logan Ryan band. This and it's like I've seen that. And I'd be like, whoa, he didn't do anything. It was this, and people are like, well, that's the first thing they go to.
Yeah,
It's your name, and yeah, it's a big deal. I've seen some. It's I mean, your band, it's a family. You see people struggling, and like man, especially like when that I've seen the responsibility weigh people down. I think that was like why Flores was he had
yeah,
an issue where he had to like be like, dude, I need to take a little break. It's too much, and he persevered, went through it, and he's doing great now. But yeah, like when you really you punch that time clock the last time you go in, and it's that guaranteed 40, that the number that you have known to live off of is consistent. You it's a big deal. But yeah, dude, congratulations. That's awesome. That
yeah. I've been. I mean, I probably could have quit for a while now, but it's just I got a I got a 1-year-old baby to take care of, and it's just
yeah,
been like, when do I make the jump? So now,
yeah,
like, now that music income is like 2, 3 times what this income is, it's pretty safe bet, I guess.
yeah.
Or
Now,
seems like it.
like with it 100%. Um, just I mean, your job now. I mean, it was your job before, but now that you have all this free time, it's just like, are you gonna like hit writing hard or do more shows? Do you have like a focus on where
The
where you want to go?
We'll be able to travel out of state more. Uh, Main thing is though, because I live in hotels during the week for this job for the past 3 years, and main thing right now that I want to focus on is spending some time with my family. But I mean, we'll still be playing the shows on the weekends, and we'll be able to hit the market. Well, I'll have so much more free time now.
Yeah,
It'll be great. I can write more. I can go to the studio whenever I want.
yeah, yeah. That dude, that's freedom. Like people don't until you start doing something you love outside of work. That's when you really notice of just how much time 8 hours is of your day.
Mhm.
Like you go to work because that's what's keeping the bills, whatever, and then like you're a musician, you love doing the music stuff, and then you just find it like it comes to a point where you have to be like you have to pick one because it's so much like 8 hours out of your day. It's just like how
I mean,
many
even
how
if you're working out of town, it's 24 hours out of your day because you're not
yeah,
home.
yeah,
You're 5 hours
especially
from home.
yeah,
You're
especially if you
not
don't
gonna.
like your job. I don't know.
Well,
Did you like
I've
welding?
always enjoyed welding. I mean, that was my dream to be a was to be a rig welder when I was in high school. Then I broke out. I was a refinery welder. Worked in the plants. Then I rig welded for a little bit. Then I worked in a shop, and then I came to this place. It's running a company rig, and it's probably one of the best jobs I ever had. But it's time to hit the old dusty trail and play music.
Yeah,
Time for the next dream. Yeah.
yeah. Like when did you like? Was there ever like a time where like you're like this is what I want to do? Did you have like a moment or is it just,
Uh, there's one point, like I think it was 2 years ago. I've been playing music. I've been releasing music. I didn't have a great band at the time, so I didn't play a lot of live shows. But then I got an album together, or I got that EP together, the Cigarettes and Alcohol EPT, and I was welding on a rooftop actually not too far from here, in McAllen, Texas, and I saw Parker McCollum posted a video with my song. I was like, "Oh shit, people actually people actually like my music," and like it was cool to see somebody like Parker McCollum, somebody I look up to and listen to all the time, find my music and enjoy it. So like that kind of gave me a new spark. And then we went into the studio and released those past 7 songs, or recorded those past 7 songs that we just released, starting with Sign Love Winona all the way to Mobile. And it's just the way we've grown since then. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Because I remember I gauge a lot of stuff off Spotify listeners. I think we were sitting at like 10,000 monthly listeners, and now today we're at like 171,000.
It's a big jump.
Just in, yeah,
Dude, that's awesome. So
that's
have
from TikTok and Parker McCollum and actually promoting myself on social media and actually getting that new spark to want to do it for a living.
yeah. It does Parker know that that's what made you put down the torch? Have you reached out to him or
I never told him that specifically, but we've talked a little bit. I got a sneak peek at his new album. It's pretty cool.
nice?
Hell yeah. But yeah, we've talked, and I told him every time he shouts me out on like a podcast or something, I'll hit him up, say thanks, man.
Yeah. Dude, that's
It
cool.
means a lot.
Yeah. And
And
what's
hopefully one day we'll play some shows together.
yeah, that'd be cool. I
Yeah.
he actually until I found like a certain app, I'd always find out a day after, and he actually came up here. I just missed him, and I would have definitely have went. But yeah, I'd heard his music before. I just didn't know it. And my buddy used to uh, cover "Pretty Heart." And I was like, "That's a cool song," but it didn't have like a country flair to it, you know. And then I remember
Mm.
hearing it, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, he's like from the same area and everything from what I've been listening to now." And I've seen him. I've seen him on interviews and whatnot, and he seems like a really cool guy. You know,
Yeah.
definitely like he said, giving
Real
shout outs
genuine.
to yeah, yeah. I haven't met him. I met his brother. Met his brother in Fort Worth. He was nice. He was like, "So you like heavy metal?" I was like, "Yeah." And he started naming all these bands. He's like, "Man, ain't nobody know these bands down here." I was like, "That's wild to me." I was like, "Pantera's from around here, right? Like, how does this happen?" No,
You didn't know Pantera down there? In
he was
Fort
like,
Worth?
he was just like, no one knows. Like, he was talking like bands like Carcass and Obituary and all those like really heavy. And I was like, yeah, that's what I
That's
listened to before.
Tyler McCollum. Is that his name?
Tyler, yeah, yeah. I was like, that's what I was listening to before. I heard I heard the red dirt and the Texas country, and because like it's funny is like and probably like obviously Leonard Skinner. That's more southern rock. They have some tunes. I would say they have like a country vibe to them, and but like with Pink Floyd. I loved Pink Floyd. They had like man, they had this one song, the Fletcher Memorial Home. It's just like a
Hmm.
song of like the old people's home. I love that song. I don't know what it is. Or like the song Vera. It's a little short story. It's like a minute long. And it's like I love that stuff. And then like outside of that, it's like that's like all you guys do. Like you and
Yeah.
Shane Smith and the Saints, and it has this like cool sound. And it's and it has even cooler because like you got the David Gilmour's on the fiddle in these bands, and it's really cool to like fall in love with music again because for a while it was like everything that came out just sounded the same even on like the heavier edge. It was like after the 2000s it was like everyone just ran it through the same thing. Like I love like when ACDC came on you didn't have to hear his voice, you hear the guitars be like, mm-hmm, there's some ACDC.
AC/DC.
Yep, they got that Marshall, and even Metallica and all them, and you could just definitely you could tell just by the sound. And then like the whole metalcore came out, and it just really got lost. It was like everybody started sounding the same, and all guitars sounded the same.
It
It
kind of
was
happened across probably every genre.
yeah,
Everything just started.
the-
They started trying to blend genres, and, which is not a good thing, I don't think.
yeah, and a lot of people they'll be like computers, dude, and I'm like, well, recording on tape is terrible. So I get computers are so easy. Like if you want to throw out a demo, you sit at your computer and you can use even all the free stuff is pretty amazing from back to stuff that you would use. And I get that, but like man, but like what you guys do, it just goes to show like you can do it the right way. You can still have like you have your own sound, and it's just nice to listen to a band and everything. Like you don't have to adjust any volume. You know what I mean? You just really sit and have like a really cool experience of. They even might be singles, but it all gives like the same feel of like sitting like down when you drop the needle on an album. You were
Hmm.
you were sitting down. You had your drinks, your snacks, and it was you were there for the music. And I really just like just everything just really sounds the same. And I guess a lot of that goes when you record at the same place, use the same producer. I think that really helps with stuff because like it's not. I don't know. I just really just appreciate like once you like fall in love with a band and their sound, it's not like you can't ever do anything different. And I love when people do it different, but I just like there's no surprises. Like you're not gonna get like all these like stories, and then it's just like, yeah, well, I've been down the dirt road with my dog and my beer. You know what I mean? just,
Yeah.
just like, hey, we're trying to hit the top 40. Sorry, I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't.
Sorry to
It's
let you all down.
yeah. Which I would, you know,
A lot
you
of
know,
people do that.
I know, I've seen it, and it's just like you're just leaving your fans there, like you just see the poster slowly go down. It's like, ooh, yeah, I don't know what happened there. You got signed, and
It's done for, I guess.
yeah, once your life's on contract, that's another thing I love. Like you don't have to make any music for anybody else other than for yourselves, and that's a powerful thing in music. I think right now because it's just some people in the suits and ties where they just see money signs. They don't care about your
Don't care
integrity
about the
and
art.
yeah, in the process of it could be a story that like it may be a song that you haven't had the right mindset to sit down and write it, and it could be something that happened soul crushing or something, and it'd be like, well, this worked on this, and they're like, that's their story, and yeah, just to wash out stuff like that. The industry, man, they just know how to throw stuff in a wood chipper, and
So it's turned me off from record labels a lot. It's like we've had some reach out to us and we're just like, I'm just, I really don't want nothing to do with them because I don't know what they actually do besides give you a loan that you got to pay back
yeah, exactly. When they come out, you're too,
after you already built it. After you already built this thing that
yeah,
you're proud of, and they just want to come take a piece of it. It seems like to me,
mm-hmm,
and they all talk to you the same. They're like, "Hey, we just want to get to know you, man. What's going on in your life? What are you up to? What are you working on?" They all talk the same.
yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, well, the better you do, the lot better they do, because
Yeah.
because not a lot of people know. Like, yeah, you get that record deal and you get all that money.
I
That's
think
to be paid
there's a
back.
lot of red tape in their contracts. A lot of people don't see, or they won't consult a lawyer about it because they're just like they see a record deal and they're like, oh, I made it,
Yeah. Oh,
and then
like
they get stuck in this city
yeah,
deal.
yeah. And then you learn the hard way about like sunset clauses. And like if you do get out of the deal and they're like, oh, they still own your music. And it's like, oh, what do you got to do now? Do you have to either pay them or you got to re-release it, re-record it, change stuff, and it's a nightmare. And
Yeah,
and people think, and there's always people like, well, that won't happen to me, and I'm like, that happens to some of the biggest guys in music. That's what blows my mind. Like it doesn't matter from the bottom to the absolute top 1% of huge artists. You always hear when they're like, well, I'm not happy anymore. I'm going to take my music. And they're like, well, you owe us $350 million to own your music to be able to do what you want with your own art. And it's just it blows my mind that you sign that deal not knowing you're going to get huge, and then it's just
you let that happen.
yeah, yeah. Music's tricky, but yeah, definitely doing it independent. I definitely think is the way to go. And that doesn't say you don't have to get a manager or like a booking manager or somebody. It is nice to have a buffer of when you're
I
not
think a
happy.
booking agent is great. A booking agent is great, worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, yeah,
But
especially one that that knows venues and knows where you're going to do good at and stuff like that. And sometimes having a manager, like if you don't want to be the bad guy, you know, you can just be like, hey,
yeah, your little buffer between
yeah, a
being the
little,
bad guy and your hard talker.
yeah, yeah, and they'd be like, hey, well, Logan Ryan's nice, but his manager, man, not knowing
Oh,
that
I
you
hate that
told your
guy.
manager, you told your manager to go in there and raise hell.
Yeah, this kind of saves face.
Yeah,
We don't have a manager yet, but we're all independent besides our booking agency.
yeah. So that takes some work off of you doing, yeah, reaching out and doing
That's a
it's just
whole nother job in itself.
yeah. And there's nothing worse than finding out the venue over double booked. And they're like, well, had you called like the other people, you would have known. It's like, well, I didn't
I
forget
talked
to
to a
play at you.
million venues. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't forget to come here. But like,
I think next we'll look for a manager, but I don't know if we need one yet.
yeah,
I'm sure things are gonna, if we keep continue getting bigger, I'm sure it'll help a lot to offload a lot of the work. But
now do you
we'll
like,
do it as we see fit.
yeah, like anything else, like for 2025, do you have any goals that like you just want to hit and just like stages or stats or just anything
Most our most of our 2025 is booked up right
booked up?
now.
Yeah,
Besides, I think we got some space in November and December that we're working on. But I think our goal is to hit like 500,000 touring. That'll be a good goal to hit. It means everybody gets paid a good
yeah.
yearly wage.
Now, now, how do you have a strategy behind that, or is that just like an
Uh,
organic through like socials and Spotify and all that?
uh, I don't know. It's probably too late to get it this year, but that's gonna be our goal for 2026 for sure. But we kind of got a late start this year because we weren't onto a booking agency until like January, which first half of the year is pretty much booked up already.
Yeah,
But I mean, we're getting close to it this year, but we still got like 2 months that we get some really good shows, we could hit it.
yeah, dude. Like,
But
I yeah, and you had a little setback when got your all your stuff was stolen. How did that work out? Did anything come? Dude, I saw the audacity of your drummer's drums at Guitar Center with like this still the
with
graphic
the
on it.
sticker.
I
Yeah,
was like, there's
uh,
no way.
that's
No
pretty wild.
way.
In the same town,
In the same town?
pretty much. Like our stuff got stolen in the Cockrell Hill area of Dallas, West Dallas, and then it was for sale in what's that area? Uh, just like southwest Dallas, like probably 30 minutes from where it got stolen, 20 minutes from where it got stolen.
Dude, that's nuts.
And yeah, so the story behind that was I was working up in Dallas. We stayed at this hotel a lot, like for work, for my work, with our work trucks, never had a problem at all. And we had a show the next day in Town Saloon in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. So the band just drummer hooked up his truck to the trailer, drove to Dallas to stay with me in the hotel that I was working at. And then we woke up in the morning and the truck and trailer were gone.
Dude, that's
And they boosted three other vehicles out of the parking lot that night. And it really wasn't late at night because of the security cameras it showed like 12:30 or something. So like we were still awake in the room when they stole our
uh
stuff, and we were making jokes about it because the guitar player he brought his guitar up to the room. He brought his guitar, his pedal board, and his amp because he's real cautious, which is good in this case
yeah.
because they stole all our stuff that night, and he got spared.
Did
I got
did
spared because my guitar was in the room already because I had it the whole week
yeah.
because I was shooting some content.
Did they
But
ever catch the guys?
uh, they got the so from Guitar Center, you have to have an ID when you trade in a
Yeah.
instrument. So
Yeah.
we don't have the guy's ID, but the police do. They have the ID from the guy that traded in. I don't know if I haven't heard anything come of it yet, but we're not able to get those drums either until we go to court.
That sucks. It's got your name on it, man. It
Yeah,
the you know, the wheels of justice they turn very slow. My God.
but
And
that's the only thing that turned up. It was just the shells. It wasn't any of the hardware, all the expensive stuff. It was just the I don't even think no, the snares with it. So it was just the shells and the snare, but none of the cymbals or the cymbal stands or nothing.
that's terrible. All right, just you just watch the trucks drive all, and as a musician, it's like, dude, that's like you've grown accustomed to your rig, your sound. You know everything about it. You know where the dials, because not all amps and stuff are the same. Like they don't sound the same. And
Yeah, poor Leo, he got the worst. He had like $7,500 worth of gear. He had all his in-ears, his pedal board, his amps, his
oh,
bass guitar, bunch of other stuff.
it's
Just like
terrible.
his whole touring rig basically.
Yeah, they're gone. And they're not getting anywhere near what it's worth, like
Yeah.
just
They're
monetary
selling
wise.
it for like fucking $100 probably.
Yeah, yeah, for whatever they want. Eh, It's yeah, it just blows my mind. Because you hear about it a lot, and it's just man, it's like stealing someone's toolbox. Like you don't steal from a way a man makes his money, or how anybody makes their money. The whole
Yeah, like
yeah.
2 weeks or like 2 months before that, we had our work trucks broken in. So we were staying in Fort Worth, and they took like $6,000 in power tools out of our work trucks. Me and my foreman were just parked right next to each other, and then I guess we left a space in between, and they just came in and they popped the locks, and took all the power tools out of the toolboxes.
Man,
They tried to take all the welding leads, but they I guess they thought they were too heavy or something. They just left them all on the ground, straddled out.
Yeah, when
But yeah,
I was talking to Kenny Fiddler, he says sometimes like they have somebody sleep in the van.
yeah.
I guess they, I don't know.
We
It's
got a van now, and we started sleeping in the van. It saves a hotel room, especially if you got a nice van where it's
yeah,
actually comfy to sleep in. But yeah, I don't mind sleeping in the van at all. I'll
yeah,
just go up to. We'll get like one room, and then two of us or two of us sleep in the van. Two of them sleep up in the room, and then we'll all go shower in the room in the morning.
yeah. That's like somebody had asked like what's like the best thing you can have in a green room, and I knew they were gonna like they were looking for like drinks or like food. I was like a shower. So you can you'd be surprised at how many bands have just made it to their show like
Yeah,
not showered. You're not refreshed, not anything. It's just, I remember it's just I went to this venue and the guy was like, "Yeah, come backstage, come back in the green room." And I was like, "Is that a shower?" And they're like, "Dude, this place rocks." I was like, "Dude, it's so awesome." And it's because because they're like, "Man, we were in the van for 20 hours and we just pulled over, took a nap, and then made it here. And man, we didn't have time to take a shower. Things happen, and just I was like, man, that should be like in every green room is a shower because you never know,
sure.
like when you got to do a turn and burn. And
Happens a lot.
yeah, yeah, I definitely think sleeping in the van is gonna stop people.
I think my favorite green room is probably Town Saloon or Floor's Country Store. Town Saloon, they got a cabin in the back of the venue. It's just a cabin. It's like a full ass apartment.
Really
Yeah, so you got like two bathrooms and three rooms,
nice.
full kitchen and everything.
Can you spend the night?
Yeah, you get to spend the night there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool when they have places like that for the band.
Then it's just right behind the venue, like 10 steps. And then Forest Country Store, it's actually a green room at the venue. They got a shower and they got a couch. They got a badass record collection. They got your ice chest with everything in a rider, snacks, Red Bulls, anything you want. It's nice.
Nice. Do you have anything wild on your rider or some of you surprised?
No, we have this thing called Two Hoots. It's like a twisted tea, but everybody thinks it's made up because they can't find it anywhere. But it's just our guitar player's favorite twisted tea.
That's funny.
But we've had people tell us like, man, we went to four different places looking for this. We can't find it. We asked the liquor store owner if they ever heard of it. They said no. So we thought you were just fucking with us.
Yeah, it's funny. Hey, at least they read it.
Yeah.
It that was like when they talked like the Van Halen, the Crazy Riders. They just when
It's
they
like
would
only blue M&M, blue M&Ms,
yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
and they said like because apparently their stage needed to be built in a certain way because it was so heavy or along the lines of that. If they came back and said something about the M and M's that they knew, they read the rest of the
Mhm.
contract to make sure that everything was like to
Yeah,
up to
they just
par.
put off the wall stuff in there just to make sure they actually read it.
Yeah,
Because because the way negotiation works, you just cross whatever you can't provide on the writer,
yeah. It
send it back.
yeah. What's funny is one of my favorite things to do, like when you're talking to a sound guy, they kind of have access to stuff like that, and because they're just the dude, they don't own the place, they don't, and I'm just whenever I see somebody else big was at a gig we were playing, I'd be like, "What's on that rider?" And if they get mad about it or because if they get yelled at, you can tell they're like, "I'll tell you what's on that rider." Like, look at this, and I love it because there's some crazy request. The one I saw, he was He was a country guy, and it was like 12 pack, Coke Zero, cold, 12 pack, Coke Zero, warm, a very specific plate of like bolded, rolled meats, lunch meats, and just wild stuff. I'm like, dude, we're at an island town. They don't have anything. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, oh, watching that guy go, yeah, no, 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 no. And he's like, yeah. And to think who they think they are. And then they were yelling at me about their intermix. And I was like, yeah, you get on the sound guy's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Hey, definitely. Yeah, yeah. They're always
Be your
great.
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always great. They'll spill all the beans. That and when people are like what's the to get the best experience of like, is it to hang out with the band? I'm like, no, man, it's to hang out, become friends with the bus driver. That's because not only is he going to get you in with these guys, this band, he knows everybody at the venue, and they're normally really nice. And they're like, hey, man, this is my buddy here. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Go way back. Because it's the bus driver. They're they're cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to when I went to shows, I would just hang out with the merch guy.
yeah, dude, that too. Yeah. And be like, hey,
And
where are you going?
eventually at some point of the night, somebody from the band's gonna come over there,
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
that's definitely, as soon as the band gets off, especially at a festival, merch booth. Oh, you might even end up walking there with them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, where are you going? It's so ironic.
Well, I was just going there too. Meet my buddy.
Yeah. But man,
Just met him.
we've been talking for like an hour and 20 minutes. Did we miss anything? Is there anything?
We got a new album coming.
Yeah.
We got show. This is live, right? Yeah, we got a show in Plano this Saturday. Love and War, Plano, Texas. Be there. If you're from Dallas, Fort Worth, or even if you're from Delaware, come on, be there.
Yeah, dude. There's sometimes I see the lineups at some places. I'm like, man, I could swing it. It's definitely
It's
Dallas Fort Worth is very easy to fly in and fly out. I give Dallas that. But with the new album, is there any like any teaser of what to expect or anything to like shine on the fans? Is there
Just
anything
expect more Logan Ryan band.
more Logan
It's gonna be
Ryan?
the same Logan Ryan band you love,
Just more.
just more.
This one goes to 11. Why not make 10 louder? Well, this is 11. And is that weird to go into a recording studio and be like, guys, we're going to be ourselves, just better versions of ourselves? Like, like what's that mean?
Do better. Just
Yeah.
do better.
I'll be behind that glass, judging everything you do. Be better.
What you did last time, do it better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited for it. It's got some cool stuff. Different.
Yeah.
Not crazy different.
Just,
Good different. I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. You'll hear it one day
Yeah. So
when we finish it.
yeah. Do you have like an expiration date for, or like, it
Like when we want it to be released.
yeah, I don't know, like if you guys have ever noticed that when you drop music at a certain quarter, if it does better or
Well, yeah, you probably don't want to drop it around Christmas time. You're gonna be drowned out by Christmas music. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I'd say October is probably the deadline. If you want to have it all. I mean, you want to have it all ready to your distribution people a couple weeks in advance at least. So maybe even you could say September is your deadline.
Okay. Yeah, I never
So
never really
we're kind of cutting it close
sometimes
because we still got 4 more songs to record.
yeah, you never know. That might be the best songs on the album. It's weird how that stuff works out. It's cool. It's cool to watch when you know people release something and just what takes off and when you listen, it's when you listen to like a deep cut, what people call, and you're like, "Yeah, this is the best song on the album." And like a lot of times you talk, when I talk to people, I'll be like, "Man, I love this song." And he's like, "They'll be like, dude, I do too." That's the one we thought would launch the album, and it's so weird. Like it just, man, it's weird how just some songs take off, and the ones that you really thought, we got gold here, and you release it, and it's just so weird how the audience, how they consume and
They reacted, yeah.
yeah. But then they can if it's something you perform live that people will love, and then it'll start bringing numbers back up and whatnot. It's such a gamble. It's like the stock market. You never
Yeah,
you never know how it's gonna go.
yeah. You can only react.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for a new album.
It'll
Maybe
be our
there's one.
debut album, yeah. I mean, we had
Yeah.
our EP, but it'll actually be an album, full-fledged album.
Are
And
you
I
gonna
don't know
do?
if I want to do like vinyl pre-sales, but
Yeah, that's
we're already
awesome.
we're already cutting it close to because we wanted to release it this year, but told a lot of people we were going to release it this year. I don't know, but
Yeah, dude, that's
good
how.
things take time.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot behind it. Yeah, I was thinking, Kenny was saying he wanted to do a vinyl, just so like when it comes out, people actually can hold it
Hmm.
and just. There's
I don't really
definitely
see
some.
CDs that much anymore.
Yeah, it's
No
the C.
Hastings anymore.
Yeah,
Do you have Hastings in Delaware?
Hastings. No.
Oh, I was like our go-to shop for music
Oh,
here in
no.
my area.
Yeah, we have like it's called Rainbow Records. That it went out of business and it's back. They're selling vinyl. And, like the guy who owned it, he like lived in there to keep it afloat for so long, and yeah, it's just going down the street. I'm like, well, that's not supposed to be there because all those stores.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah. Is that a Blockbuster? All that stuff. Like it, and now I do miss because I love that like there's like timeless album art. A lot of like a lot of album art is what drew me to
That's
music.
the coolest part.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
make
like
all this, you spend all this time on making these songs that you want the world to hear. You better spend some time on the album art.
yeah. And some album art spawns an entire like Eddie from Iron Maiden. Like that's
Hmm.
like a thing now. Like granted he's in like all the album art now, but it can't like that's what but my first experience with Iron Maiden was being scared of my uncle's Iron Maiden poster. But I was interested. I was like, and just remember
Kind of
loving the
cool.
sound. Yeah, and like Pink Floyd, the guy on fire, the back of him on fire. I was like, hey, what's this? And you listen to that, you're like, wow. It's just another way to draw you in. It's funny. It's like I have like I think it holds 6 CDs in my one car, and I just pressed eject to see what was in there because I haven't touched it probably years. And yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
and the screen went out, so I broke it. I was like, God damn it. I was like, I'll never know what's in there until it finally kicks the bucket, and maybe I'll pry it out. It's probably something stupid like Patrick Summer mix, like all the stupid mixtapes we all used to make.
Yeah, you
But
see all the album art now, it's just like a picture of the guy with the guitar and then the name and then the name of the song or whatever.
yeah, dude, your album
It's
art,
just
the what are
I don't
the
have a picture of myself on any of my album arts.
yeah, I was gonna say that like the one is the skeleton at the poison bar, and
Yeah.
yeah, it and that's intentional, right? That it's just not you.
Yeah, I made all that.
Oh,
I made
really?
all my album art, yeah, besides the cigarettes and alcohol EP.
You like, obviously drew it and everything?
Yeah, a little help from AI.
I got you. That's cool though. But so when you see a Logan Ryan album art, you're also seeing in the mind, as so to say, of it's an
Yeah,
intentional thing from the artist. That's cool. There's not a lot of people doing that.
yeah. I'll do AI to get the concept, and then I'll draw everything on there
Yeah,
and re-edit everything. Yeah, yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, that's definitely it's a part of the process too that I really like. A lot of people like that. That's as biggest thing to them as almost the music, well, because it is an experience. It's the first thing, when unfortunately physical media isn't as prevalent as it is now. But that was your first, judging the book by the cover of by
Mhm.
the album art,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I
like
always did that. You see cool album art, you're like, oh, I want to listen to that.
yeah, yeah. It's weird how I found a lot of bands just being like, well, that's cool, and
Yeah.
it was a gamble back when you're young, spending spending allowance. It took
If they
so
spent
long.
time on their album art, they spent time on the song, probably
Yeah,
more than likely.
yeah, and all the production and everything, you kind of knew you were getting something polished, you know. So, yeah, that's cool, man. But yeah, is there anything else?
Well, that's all I can think of. You got anything else?
Dude, like, yeah, I can talk forever. I don't know if you have anything to do or whatnot. But now I was gonna ask because I love your sound. Now, if you were gonna make like Logan Ryan cocktail with other bands, what do you think would be in a Logan Ryan drink?
What do you mean,
Just
like an actual drink?
like influences, like if the bands
Oh, the
were
people
like
that influence my music.
yeah, if it was like to be like a
Okay,
cocktail of influences musical.
I would say the band, Joe Walsh, Cross Canadian Ragweed, Randy Rogers, Turnpike Troubadours, a little bit of Hank Williams in there, just a touch. A lot of the Red Dirt and a lot of the old classic rock, really.
Nice.
Tom Petty.
Yeah, dude, I'm always to me like I'm like Tom Petty radio. And like I never owned one of his albums. He's always been on like compilation, and so many people always bring him up, and I always say I need to like sit down and really listen to some of his music because a lot of the guys from Texas they bring him up, and okay, when they say like that, I was at like who's an artist that the world lost that like really affected you, and a lot of people just said Tom Petty, and I was like, granted, like I, you know, Last Dance,
I
like
wouldn't say like I wouldn't say he's like that to me. I probably only know like three of his songs
yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Like I love
off
Last
the
Dance
top
with
of my
Mary.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember I knew who he was. I just remember watching The Postman, the movie, and he's in it, and he's like, "Hey, aren't you that guy?" He's some like, not anymore. I just thought it was funny. He was in a movie with Kevin Costner. It's a very long movie about a guy who like pretends he's restarting the post office and that the
Oh,
U.S. government's back. It's interesting. It's very long, but I was just like, yeah, it's Tom Petty. But yeah,
yeah.
like
There's a lot more I'm forgetting, but I mean everything I've ever liked's been an influence on us.
yeah, Yeah, dude, it's a tough question.
Storytelling, like Robert Earl King, Charlie Robinson, everything I've ever liked. I've always it's always became a piece of me, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah, and your taste change like
hmm
from like a guitar playing. Like when I first started playing guitar, I was like I was doing like the Eddie Van Halen tapping, and I can't remember the last time I've done any tapping on the guitar. Just kind of like, and it gets to the point where it sounds kind of like him. It's almost too like, all right, we get it, Van Halen. Like we like Eddie too, but that's too much. And but yeah, like that's definitely I kind of had on an idea, because I like to think what you're gonna say, and it was obviously, when you go on Apple Music, it's you're wearing a Cross Canadian Ragweed shirt, so it's like definitely a fan.
I just watched their Stillwater concert.
Oh, you said you were there?
Yeah, I
Damn,
got tickets for the Waco one too now,
nice. That's
so I'll be
cool
there.
because I know a lot of people wanted that. And it's cool that they were able to experience that. And there's still the people that still complain. It's like, man, you know, you just need to put X's on their hands. It's just sometimes you just can't. You can do that's the one thing with like social media and everything. Man, you can really try to just make everybody happy. It's not gonna happen.
And please the crowd.
Yeah, and it's not like you're gonna be like, well, every night you have to figure there's some percentage that they're they don't care. So and how do you pick them out? Because some of them are like snakes in the grass. We're like, oh yeah, 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 and then you go and look, and they're like, oh, that was terrible. It's just yeah, that was the one thing of like when you're doing like social media, and because I can be like, I love Logan Ryan band, man. They remind me of this. And they're like, don't ever compare Ryan to that. I'm
No,
like,
he's not.
yeah, how dare you? And it's like if you say the term red dirt, and if somebody doesn't
Right, he's not from Oklahoma.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, exactly. Yeah. Oh, music.
I feel like Red Dirt, Texas Country are one and the same.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier just to say it like that.
They're all is four words. Red Dirt, Texas Country.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, that'd work for me.
Texas Red Dirt.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad. Yeah, just
Oklahoma and Texas has just become one.
yeah, just put them together. No, but yeah, man. I appreciate you jumping on here.
Yes,
Getting
sir. It's
getting
fun.
yeah, getting to talk to you. I'm excited for the new album, and I'm sure everybody that's a fan is definitely as well. Because man, it's yeah, all your songs that have been coming out lately are they're great, and I know like a lot of people they're definitely listening to you, and I hope a lot more people find your music. And man,
We do
just
too.
yeah, and a worry of money and all that doing this leap is it's just you'll laugh at it one day, be like, to think I even thought twice. So yeah, I'm excited.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I don't know if there's anything I can ever do to help, or try to help, or like do promo stuff or whatever. You just let me know.
I'll
That's
try to get some shows up there in Delaware.
yeah,
That's where you're from, right? You live
yeah,
there?
yeah. Yeah, Philly has a lot of cool venues that the guys, a lot of the Texas Red Dirt guys come up. It,
Really?
yeah,
They fill out pretty good?
yeah, dude. I like when Tanner Usry came up here. It was kind of like selfish. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna like get like that small town show type that everybody was complaining about. Like, man, I remember watching him for $10, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have that, man. There's a lot of people, and I was like, oh, and like, yeah, like Lance Rourke, Muscadine Bloodline, Shane Smith and the Saints. A lot of the guys that come up here, they're packing it in.
Mhm.
It's really cool to see. I mean, American Aquarium's from, I guess Mid South, one of the
J
Carolinas.
Barham,
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, uh, Whitey and Teller
Eddie Morgan.
Honeycutt. Yeah, Whitey Morgan comes out. There was a lot of people. It's there's crowds. There's crowds that are here for it, and yeah, it's getting a lot better. Uh, what's it? Giovanni and the hired guns.
Air
They
guns. Yeah,
they
they're
brought.
badass.
Yeah, dude, I love those guys. They're so much fun.
Me and
We had
Gio actually got a video from like it was a long time ago, but they had like a Tune in Texas podcast. It was like we played a show at a bar when we were nothing, when we were really, 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 really small. Didn't have a following. And then Giovanni, it was me, Giovanni, and Jack Barksdale. Jack Barksdale's like a younger kid. Well, he's not young anymore, but plays the hell out of a guitar. Really awesome, great songwriter. It's kind of he's really, really talented kid. And then Giovanni was there, and I was there. I was kind of like the untalented one of the bunch. I would like to think, but yeah, that's a cool story. Me and Gio and them have together. I think it was like 2018, probably. Yeah. Giovanni, like you would not expect his voice coming from his body.
yeah, yeah. Those guys are great. But yeah, they do come up here, and the ones I've seen, they do draw some crowds, which is it's
He got
cool to
signed
know.
to a major rock label,
Yeah,
like Papa Roach and stuff are on it. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. It's Atlantic, right? I forget.
I
I
think
should.
Raiders, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but yeah, they did a couple shows up here. Where I
They're
was like,
doing good though.
yeah, I love that sound. I love when they bring out the tuba. It's it's
Yeah,
awesome. It's
so
so different, and it's just, man, it works. It's great. Yeah, I love those guys. But yeah, I think maybe one day you would be up here in the Northeast,
yeah,
and then the whole country, the whole world's your oyster now. It's the
yes,
whole
sir.
yeah, the whole country is your potential stage for you. So it's
Yeah, we've
cool.
been working on getting east. Been going west a lot.
Yeah,
Haven't gone east too much.
yeah. Well, you got to go where your market is, and
That's our bucket list for 2026.
nice.
Every state to the east.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'll be looking at the tour releases,
Oh
or
yeah.
yeah, or I need to fly down to Texas a little bit more. Up to hopefully hit a festival you guys are playing, whatnot. Try to do them
Yeah,
a little bit
they got
more.
a lot coming up.
Yeah, they definitely do. It's just like, man, there's so many to really.
You should get like a sponsorship to come down here and interview people.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll pay your flight, give you the
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah.
There you go.
Then I'd have no excuse.
Yeah.
It'd be like a little field recorder. Like, here. Tell me how that
Oh
felt.
yeah.
But yeah, man, dude, thanks for taking your time out of your day and jumping on here. I
Yeah, no
appreciate it.
problem, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on.
yeah, man. Thanks for jumping on, and yeah, have a good rest of your night, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, thanks a lot.
Later, man.
See ya.